Hi, Sayori. I blink a few times just to make sure what I just saw wasn't real.
Holly, you okay?
Sayori looks worriedly at me. I rub my eyes, trying to fake that it wasn't anything serious. Yeah, I'm good. Something just got in my eye.
I see.
Sayori looks off in the direction of school. I don't think she really bought into it. I try to move on from the subject. Well, hey, we might as well start heading to school, huh? Sayori looks back at me with a blank expression on her face.
Yeah, I guess so.
She says solemnly. Sayori and I turn and start slowly making our way to school. I still feel guilty for making Sayori run off yesterday. She hasn't said a word to me since we started walking. The entire time she had a mix of sadness and confusion on her face. I sigh to myself. I have no idea how we can salvage our friendship. At this point, I'm probably doing more harm to her mental health than good. Anytime I feel like I do something good for Sayori, I end up messing it up later. I'm not sure why she's even choosing to be around me despite everything. I look to Sayori, who quickly realizes that I'm looking at her. Instead of being dismissive like I thought she would be, she unexpectedly shoots me a small smile. I can't help but return the favor with a smile of my own. Even in this awkward and painful chapter of my friendship with Sayori, we still have our fair share of laughs and smiles. Almost how it was before all this started. I've known her for 14 years, and for the longest time I thought I knew Sayori better than she knew herself. But the reality is, I don't. I don't know how I can even make amends with her after all the crap I've put her through. I don't know what I can even do to make her feel better. I don't know how to help her. I just don't know anything. And when it comes to Sayori, that scares me. I don't even know just how deep her problems really run. Well, maybe I can try talking to her later today at some point. Maybe then we can start to straighten things out. For once, the walk to school wasn't as awkward as it had been lately. We even managed to hold a somewhat decent conversation throughout the entirety of the walk, so I guess that's progress. Not to mention, Sayori seems to be doing much better now, given what happened yesterday. No punctuation. We did manage to arrive a little earlier than usual, so we just passed the time by slowly walking up and down the hallways until the morning bell rings.
And that's why cinnamon buns taste better with icing.
I mean, I don't disagree, but I think it's better to have the icing in the cinnamon bun rather than on top of it, you know?
But then that to make it a pastry.
Just before I could answer, we hear the bell ring throughout the school, signifying the start of another day at school. Well, I guess our discussion about cinnamon buns and pastries will have to wait for later. Sayori lets out a small giggle.
Alright, Holly, I'll see you after class.
Can't wait! Sayori and I wave goodbye to each other as we go our separate ways to our classes.
I just hope we can spend some time together, that's all.
She mutters softly. Did you say something?
Never mind, let's go.
I shrug my shoulders as we begin our walk to the clubroom. I missed the context again. That's okay.
So, how are things with you and Natsuki?
And my mind goes completely blank. I'm not entirely sure how I can put it to someone like Monika without accidentally giving anything away. For all I know, Natsuki might have convinced Monika to see how I feel about her in a roundabout way. In a roundabout way, my bad. Oh, well,
You don't have to answer if you don't want to, Hallie.
No, it's fine. Or it's just...
Difficult to explain.
Yeah, you could say that. I take a moment to collect my thoughts. Well, it's been an interesting journey with her. At first I thought she hated me or something. Monika lets out a small laugh.
Well, that's Natsuki. From my understanding, she's always kind of been like that. Would be kind to... Wait, oh.
No, that's right, it's kind of... Don't mind me. Losing my marbles. Really? Did she tell you something?
That's not really something for me to say, Hallie. But I can say that she's been a lot happier since you've joined.
Well, it's good to see that I did something right at least. Monika lets out another small laugh.
Oh, come on, Hallie. You should give yourself a little more credit than that.
I mean, my friendship with Sayori's been a mess lately. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with her.
Well, do you want to talk about it?
I mean, I try to figure out how best to articulate my current status with Sayori. It's just been awkward since last Sunday. Like, one moment everything will be fine, then the next thing I know, I'll say something stupid and it'll ruin her day. I guess her feelings are still raw from, you know. My voice trails off as Monica listens intently.
I see. Well, I would say for Sayori is that she just needs time to get over what happened with you and her. I'm sure she'll come out to you when she's ready to talk about what happened.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
She's a strong person, Hallie. She'll get through it.
Monica shoots me a reassuring smile. Thanks, Monica. I really needed to hear that.
No problem.
So, what should I do with Natsuki? Monica pauses for a moment.
Well, it depends where you see yourself going with her, Hallie.
I mean, I feel like I'm stuck in a box here. Do I risk telling Monica that I'm interested in Natsuki? There's really no way that I can deny my feelings for her, especially when it's starting to become painfully obvious. I decide to try to play the roundabout card too. I just don't know if she likes me in the same way I do. Maybe went a little too obvious there. Monica shoots me a reassuring smile.
Well, I'm sure Natsuki will come to you soon and tell you how she really feels about you. It's better for her to come to you than for you to come to her, knowing how she is and everything. I'm not quite sure if she's settled on her own feelings quite yet.
I understand. Thank you, Monica. I really appreciate everything.
No problem. Your happiness is important to me too, Hallie.
I manage a small smile at Monica. Thanks, Monica. You're too kind.
If you want to talk more, I'll be here. I've actually been working on this poem since last night if you want to see how it turned out.
I'll certainly keep that in mind, Monica. Monica smiles as she turns and heads back to the teacher's desk. I turn to face the rest of the room, with everyone doing their respective activities. Well, it makes no sense for me to stand out in the open like this. Who should I hang out with? Natsuki's out. I decided to see what Natsuki was doing. I spot Natsuki in her usual spot by the closet. She seems to be reading her manga. Hey, Natsuki. Natsuki jumps at hearing my voice.
Hallie, I thought I told you to stop scaring me like that. That's a good way to give someone a heart attack.
Oh, come on. How am I supposed to approach you then? Send a pigeon carrier. Besides, calling your name out this way is much more fun.
Yeah, I bet it'd be real fun for you to see me drop dead from you scaring me.
No, it really wouldn't.
Oh, Hallie. I don't know how much more my little heart can take.
Natsuki then pretends to faint dramatically as she has the biggest smirk possible on her face. Oh, come on, you're just being over-dramatic now. Natsuki lets out a laugh. Yeah, real funny.
Hallie, sometimes you make this too easy for me.
Come on, you'd know I'd help you if you ever really needed it.
I know that. You seem nice enough to, anyways.
Natsuki's voice trails off as she smiles sweetly at me. I smile back. For once, I actually think she wanted me to hear that. Despite Natsuki's sourness at times, she can be sweet when she wants to.
Anyways, want to read Parfait Girls? Since, you know, we didn't get to start last time.
Natsuki's eyes dart to the floor as she references the incident we had with Yuri yesterday. Well, hopefully Natsuki and I can read in peace this time. You know it.
Great! Wait here, I'll go get it.
As I watch Natsuki disappear into the closet, I can't help but be reminded of what I saw last night. That horrifying look she gave me when she came out.
Hey, Hallie! Come over here, I need your help with something.
My head starts to spin. What's happening? I feel like I'm right back in my dream. My eyes dart towards the closet. What if... Oh, no, hold on. What if it happens again? No, wait, why am I thinking like this?
Come on, dummy, I don't have all day.
I take a deep breath. Come on, Hallie, it was just a stupid dream. You have no reason to be thinking like this. I walk in and brace myself for the worst. But all I see is Natsuki struggling to grab her manga.
Jeez, it took you long enough to get in here. What were you doing?
Sorry, I spaced out there for a bit. There's no way I'm telling Natsuki about my dream last night, or the hallucinations I just experienced now or this morning. She'll think I'm crazy. We didn't hallucinate anything right now, though.
Well, hurry up and grab that one.
She points to a special edition copy of Parfait Girls. Unlike the normal copies that I've seen from the series, this one is golden and reflective. It's one of those books that really grabs your attention if it's on a shelf somewhere. Whatever you say, Natsuki. I grab the copy of the manga and we walk out of the closet. While walking out of the closet, I take a closer look at the manga copy. Jeez, this looked like it was definitely expensive. Now I see why Natsuki's always raising hell if she can't find her own manga. Wow, where'd you get this?
That's what happens when you go to conventions, Hallie. I was able to buy it at a discounted price there. Otherwise, getting it would have been super expensive.
Conventions, huh? I mean, I may read manga every now and then, but I'm clearly nowhere as near as enthused about it as Natsuki is.
What? You've never been to one?
I can't say that I have.
Well, I'm going to have to fix that.
You're going to take me to one?
Well, obviously. They're really fun, Howie. You can get all sorts of rare collectibles there.
Huh, never thought of it like that.
There's actually a convention happening in town next week that we could go to.
Wait, is she asking me out? Apparently my facial expression gives me my thoughts away.
But it isn't a date.
I never said it would be.
It's written all over your face, Howie.
I feel my face hot with embarrassment. I tried to deny Natsuki's claim. I don't know what you're talking about. Natsuki lets out another sigh. Natsuki lets another laugh.
Whatever you say, Howie. Anyways, let's start reading.
Finally! I say that with a sense of relief in my voice. Though Natsuki sees an opportunity to take advantage of that, which I should have seen coming.
Yeah, like you can daydream while we read.
Okay, now we're good. Thought I saw something. I'm hallucinating now. I let out a sigh as Natsuki continues to laugh at seeing me flustered. We both take our seats underneath the windowsill.
Well, you ready?
Yeah, any particular reason you wanted to read from this and not the other copy?
Well, the special edition has some exclusive art in it. Not to mention it manages to pack volumes 1 through 6 into it.
Wow, that's awesome. You're pretty incredible to be able to get your hands on something like this. Man, that must be a thick manga. Natsuki blushes.
Oh, don't mention it. Just start reading.
I open the manga and we begin reading, starting where we roughly left off in Volume 3. As we read throughout the manga, Natsuki sure enough points out all the differences between the special edition and the original. While I don't have much of a preference for reading either one, since they're the same all things considered, the special edition artwork does add a nice touch to this copy. I also noticed that the longer we read, the closer Natsuki has gotten to me. It also gets to a point where she goes quiet and she looks at me more than she looks at the manga. At first I try to ignore it, but it becomes distracting enough to the point where I can't continue reading. I turn to my right and I see that Natsuki's not even looking at the book anymore. She's just staring at me with an intimate look in her eyes. What you doing? Natsuki doesn't respond. It seems as if she's in some kind of trance. I don't know what to do. Sure, I don't mind Natsuki looking at me like this, but I'm afraid that someone's going to catch us and immediately get the wrong idea, especially considering how Yuri was yesterday. I glance around the room to see Yuri reading her book, Sayori spacing out, and Monika working on something. I then turn back to Natsuki, meeting her gaze. Natsuki then suddenly embraces me tightly. I'm so surprised by Natsuki's sudden embrace that I nearly drop the manga. Her hug feels warm. My mind goes blank in this situation. Hold on. Suitation. Yet Natsuki's willingly hugging me. She moves to whisper in my ear.
This feels nice, Howie.
It really does. I like it.
I can almost get used to this.
Natsuki's comment catches me completely off guard. She's usually never this forward. Still, though, I think I could get used to this, too. Before I can respond, Monika stands up and walks to the front of the room.
Okay, everyone, gather around. I have an important announcement to make.
Suddenly, Monika and Sayori's eyes turn to me and Natsuki. Yuri, confused as to what's going on, turns around, only to see what Monika and Natsuki are staring at. Natsuki and I are practically cuddling at this point. All three girls are looking at us with a bit of an irritated, almost jealous expression on their faces. Great. Well, it's up to me to attempt to salvage this situation. I subtly nudge Natsuki. Hey, Natsuki. Natsuki looks up at me with a disoriented look. We kind of need to get up. Monika has an announcement to make.
Do we have to? Why is it every time I try to spend time with you like this, it gets ruined?
Natsuki might have said that last part too loudly. She turns to see the other three looking at us. She turns as bright red as her hair ties. She hurriedly stands up and storms to the front of the room, plopping into a seat, and turns to look out the window, not wanting to make eye contact with any of us. Sayori, Monika, and Yuri all look off in different directions, trying to avoid making the situation even more awkward than it already is, as they take their seats at the front of the room, or at the font of the room. While on my way to the front of the room, Yuri abruptly stops me. She doesn't look too happy with what she just saw, but she also looks like she's unsure if she wants to confront me about what just happened. I decide to speak first. Yeah, Yuri?
Nothing, Hallie. It was nothing important.
She looks off to the other side of the room as she mutters softly. Yuri then briskly walks past me, taking a seat and joining the others. Well, that was random. I just hope she isn't jealous of me and Natsuki getting so close like that. She isn't the jealous type, right? Yeah. After a moment of silence, Yuri is the first to speak up.
You know, I did happen to keep the welcome banner we made for the festival. I just need to find it. It's somewhere in my house.
I wouldn't mind baking cupcakes again. Turns out Hallie isn't that bad of a cook.
She says that directly looking at me. Natsuki certainly isn't letting what just happened between us go. I try to move past the sudden awkwardness. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, Nat. Natsuki looks at me with a puzzled look.
Not? Where did that come from?
I don't know, I thought it'd be cute if I gave you a little nickname. Normally Natsuki would shoot me an irritated look before proclaiming to everyone that she isn't cute. But this time it doesn't even look like she knows how to get properly mad at me. She tries to pout, but I can tell she's forcibly trying to hold back a grin.
Are you implying that I'm cute?
And if I was?
Oh!
Natsuki suddenly looks off in another direction, only becoming more flustered. After about a moment, she turns back to face me, no longer able to contain her grin.
Let that slide. Just this once.
I chuckle to myself, but in the corner of my eye, I see Sayori looking tearfully at me. I mean, I always love spending time with you and all. Seeing Sayori just trying to hold back her tears completely derails my train of thought. I never did take into account that she might not yet be comfortable with me being this flirty around Natsuki yet. Yeah, so... I look like an idiot as I try to find what to say next. Thankfully, Monica comes in to seemingly save the situation.
I can type up a summary of what we do on a day-to-day basis and write some things down for what we can tell the newspaper.
And away we go. The walk home with Sayori is once again filled with awkward silence, especially considering how Sayori saw me getting too comfortable with Natsuki. Though we're able to make at least some small talk, with mostly just talking about how our days went. But even then, Sayori's cagey on some of her answers and struggles to directly answer me at times. Well, if I want to fix my friendship with Sayori, I better start now.
Hey, Hallie.
Yeah, Sayori?
I think I know where my poems are. I can stop at your house in a bit and drop them off if that's okay.
Sayori's voice trails off. I see where she's going with this. Yeah, I'd love to have you over.
Are you sure that's okay? I wouldn't want to ruin your plans for tonight.
I take it Sayori probably thinks I'm going to have an extended cuddling session with Natsuki tonight based off what she saw earlier in the club. Well, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, I got nothing going on for tonight. I'll see you in a bit, okay?
Oh, okay.
Come on, you know I'd love to have you over. It's been too long, Anyway, oh my god, what's wrong with me?
Alright, I'll see you in a bit, Hallie.
See you. Sayori happily skips to her porch and enters her house before I can say anything else. Well, that seems to put her in a good mood. Hopefully I can start making things right between us. Yeah. Oh. As I look through my poems, I come to realize just how much Natsuki has influenced my writing. I guess by spending all that time around her, I picked up on her writing habits. Despite her insecurities about her writing, I always thought her poems were fun to read. Even if her writing style is rather simple, she uses it pretty effectively to get her message across. Looking back at my poems, I realize why Natsuki likes them so much. She finally found someone that she can relate to. Even though I thought she hated me at first, it's quite remarkable how much closer we've gotten over these last 2 weeks. I hope she was joking when she said that trip to that convention wouldn't be a date. I put down my poems and go to my bag to retrieve Yuri's poems, which I put right next to mine. I noticed that in Yuri's stack of poems there's a purple piece of paper. I don't remember Yuri ever writing her poems down on purple paper. Maybe she accidentally gave me something. Before I could investigate further, I hear my doorbell ring.